Hey there, guys. It's Mia here. I am so excited. I am so excited about this quick topic tonight. I'm going to teach very simply. Are you hiding from your giant calling? Are you hiding from your giant calling? I'm Mia Redrick, business and life consultant. I got started in my company over 20 years ago. I decided not to hide. And fast forward today, I've coached thousands of women who are smart, they're sharp, they're amazing, they're brilliant. They have the ability to create results for others. And I show them how to be giant in every single way with their gifts, leveraging their knowledge, packaging what they do into a high ticket product on or offline. Maybe it's coaching, consulting, training, television, licensing, you name it, building an amazing brand as an incredible thought leader. Now, this is going to be for you tonight. If you know you are a rock star, and you know you're hiding. Okay, I'm going to call you out tonight. It is my honor to do that. And I hope as a result of you hearing what I share tonight, that it shakes your shoulders, that it gets you to show up for yourself, that you decide to no longer play small. All right, because it's not serving the world, but playing small. We need you. We need your gifts. People are looking for you every single day to show up. I've got 5 simple points on ways for you to recognize whether or not you're hiding in your gifts and how to show up incredibly. And I wanted to do this live specifically because I work with such incredible women, and they're smart and they're in every single way, and they create results in their workplace and results with their gifts all the time. But a lot of times when we think about taking those same gifts that we're using at work, that we're using in life to affect change, and we think about doing it for ourselves, it gets a little scary. And we wonder, can I replicate? You know, you know what I'm talking about. Can I replicate what I'm doing for corporate? Can I do this for myself? Can I replicate what I'm doing for someone else, for me in my business? Can I take that risk? It's now the time, and now is absolutely the time. And I wanted to just speak from my heart because 20 years ago, I made that decision for myself to trust myself, to live a life where I would be fully expressed, doing what I love to do. I came from a corporate background, and I wanted to go to work as myself. I wanted to figure out how to take my knowledge and how to um, package what I knew how to do to build an amazing, incredible brand. And I did exactly that. And it changed my life. And now I've built a business that my work life is unrecognizable. It doesn't look anything like what I was doing before. 70 hours a week, trading time for dollars, having a cap on my income, not having any control over when and where, what I could do in my free time. And I know that you're smart enough to get yourself free and to stay free. And I certainly know how to support you in doing that. I've coached thousands of women and supported them with the way forward on that. But there are, as I see, 5 things that I'm going to cover for you tonight on how you might be hiding that giant being that's inside of you. And in order for you to live your life that's unrecognizable, for you to show up for yourself and your dream, these are the 5 things that I want you to think about. Number one, here's number one, is, are you allowing fear to keep you from being great? Okay, let me repeat that. Are you allowing fear to keep you from being great? What do I mean? I mean, you know that you want to launch your business. You've always thought about starting a consultancy practice or licensing your knowledge or building a brand or doing television or something like that, right? And yet, every time you think about it, hey there, darling, you are afraid. You're afraid to launch. You are afraid to invest in yourself at the highest level. You are afraid to be consistent, persistent with the dreams that you have. Now, let's be clear. You have not been afraid to be persistent and consistent doing this exact thing for someone else. And you know, based on your track record, you're amazing at what you do, and you are sought after, and people love you in the workplace, and you're incredible. But whenever you think about showing up for yourself, you become afraid. When you think about starting and launching your own business and brand, you start thinking, can I do it? Like, will this translate? Will people want to work with me? And you become afraid, and you talk yourself out of being giant for yourself around your ideas. And I want you to understand that the reason that you can see it is because you can do it. All right. The reason you see is because you can do it. I've understood this years ago that the visions that I've seen over the years, nobody else saw those things for me. I started my business as a mom coach, and I called myself the mom strategist. There were not mom coaches 20 years ago in abundance at all. And it was a vision I had. And if I were waiting for validation, I would still be waiting to move forward. So I want you to understand that you are meant to lead from the front. We actually need you to show up for the dream so that others will come forward. And if you've been waiting for someone else to do it, to validate that it's time for you, it's not going to happen, because we are waiting on you. The people that you're meant to serve are going to be attracted to you because you're you. Your walk, your journey, your experience, your education, your pedigree, all of it together is what will make you succeed. So if you've been talking yourself out of starting that business and being amazing and launching down this lane and that is unknown for you, I want you to stop it. All right. And I'm so grateful that I didn't talk myself out of starting my business years ago. I went to actually a small business resource center in my town when I got started. And the director of that business center, he told me, your idea, it will never work. No one's going to pay you to coach moms, like, at all. And I'm so grateful I didn't listen to him. And as a result of not listening to him, I ended up, having several corporate partnerships with Fortune 100 and 500 brands, having been signed to multiple Emmy nominated and nationally syndicated television shows. This is the girl that was told this won't work. It will work for you, right? And you're meant to broker that idea. And I hope that as a result of you hearing me speak to you tonight, it'll help you. Don't allow fear not to allow you to be great. Anything that you're going to do, you're going to be afraid anyway, because you haven't seen it on the other side. But when you face your fears, you get to live with a completely different gift. Trust me on that. Number 2. All right. Today we're talking about, why you are not being giant and showing up for yourself in the ways that are most amazing. And despite all of the evidence, all your talents, your skills, you already know the results you created in the world and for others, that there's every reason for you to say yes to yourself. But for some reason, you haven't said, yeah, I'm going to get this business going. So I want to talk directly to you. The second thing that I see that we do as giants, smart, sharp women, is that we hide our talents, or we're waiting on others to acknowledge or sanction our journey. And don't do that. All right. So hiding your talents and your skills. And I see this among really, really smart women. And why is this? Because likely you've been in environments where often you're the smartest person in the room. And sometimes when you're the smartest person in the room, or you've been in rooms with really, really smart people, there is a pecking order, right? There's like, how much can people take of you being brilliant and amazing? But in your own business, you get to choose that lane all the time. And hiding is not going to make you happy. I can tell you, you will live a life of quiet desperation. One of the things that I love about my life is that I get to be smart and sharp, and I get to play outside of the lines all the time. And I get to create the rules and the dynamics of how I want to live and work. And I know that that will excite you. I know that that is for you. And even if you haven't been playing there, you know that hiding has not served you at all. It doesn't fulfill you at the end of the night. You keep thinking about what if, and you wouldn't be thinking that if hiding supported your, what it is that you want. No one's going to sanction you. No one needs to acknowledge you, tell you now is the time. The only person that can do that is you. Is that making sense? Okay. And if you're watching this as a replay, you can write, that's making sense. If you're watching it live, write, that's making sense. But the truth of the matter is, you have to give yourself permission to move forward. And only then will everything, you say yes to yourself, and you'll figure everything else out. And I know that's been true for me. Over the years, that's exactly what I did. I did not have any evidence. I didn't look for any approvals. Thank God I didn't, because they didn't exist. And I realized that I was the biggest dreamer among my circle. And sometimes when you are the biggest dreamer in your circle, you're never going to get that. Girl, how are you going to do it? You can do it. Go get it, because it'll come with questions. if you're among people who do not dream and you've got big dreams, they're going to ask you questions like, how are you going to do that? And they're going to poke holes in that dream by saying, but isn't that expensive? Or is this the right time? Or look at what security you have and all of these things. But I realized I was the biggest dreamer among my circle. And I had to follow my own whim. I had to follow my own heart. And I hope this really supports you. Number 3, the third thing that I want you to understand is super important if you want to be giant and show up for your calling. And the third thing is you got to play with the right crowd. You got to play with the right crowd. And it kind of locks in with number 2. And playing with the right crowd for me meant I needed to find my people, my own ambition level and above. And you do too. And the truth of the matter is, it's just not the same. I could have people who have had great careers, very, very educated, but they weren't my ambition level. They weren't my work ethic. I'm just that person that I will outwork you, like literally. I will outfocus you. Because I'm not doing it for you. I'm doing it for me. And I know that you're likely this way as well. And you need to make sure that you're playing with the right circle, because if not, it will appear, okay, that you are outshining the people around you, and that is not your intent. You got to understand is that when you cast light, when you're brilliant and you're amazing, you project light, okay? And when you project light, you also create shadows. And maybe, just maybe, what you have been seeing in your world as it relates to relationships or people who feel like they're in your shadows, it's not something that you've intentionally attempted to do. It's just that because of who you are, because of the way you work, the way you think, what you get done, what you accomplish, what you create with that brilliant and amazing mind, okay? The reality is that there are people who are in your shadow, and you need to make sure you're working with people. You need to make sure that you are in environments that are your own ambition level and above. Otherwise, you'll experience more of those dark emotions, jealousy, envy. You won't have people to be able to share what you're doing at the highest and tallest level. I'm breaking this all down. I hope that this is supporting somebody out there. I already know that this is where you're at, because when you are giant, okay, you need to be in the company of other giants. This is the reason why the work that I do, I connect women who are the same ambition level and above, because they have the exact same thing. They know the answer. They've been that way. They've been in environments where people want them to shrink their shine. They want you to play small. They want you to act like you don't know. They don't want you to share your results. They don't want you to share your testimony, your testimonials, because you are casting light. And when you cast light, you also create shadows. And that means that person that's not doing those things, it's their problem, not yours, is feeling insecure, doubtful, and threatened by what it is that you do. But I want you to shine on anyway. Number 4, you got to understand, if you want to be amazing and giant, you got to live a life of congruency. You can't be talented and incredible and create amazing results and charging low ticket for what you do. Yes, I did say that. Okay. And I see this a lot. A lot of women come to me who are incredible at what they do, and they've been following these models of with people who are not as talented as you. They just can't create the kind of results consistently that you can. So the reason they can't charge what you charge, the reason they can't, is because they can't do what you do. And if you take those models on, okay, you will be undervalued, undercharged, and your marketing will be impacted because of the results. It's like if somebody said they wanted to buy a Range Rover, right? I love Range Rovers, okay? So if somebody wanted to buy a Range Rover, it's brand new, right? 2023 Range Rover, Velar, fully loaded, amazing, right? And somebody was selling it for $1,000, you would say, what is wrong with it? So it's an amazing 2023 fully loaded Range Rover Velar, but it's undervalued. And because of it, you question everything about it. Is that Dr. Hawthorne? You already understand this because you're amazing and brilliant and incredible. And you understand you have to stand in your value. It's super important You've got to be congruent. And if you're not congruent in your marketing, you don't attract your ideal clients. And it's very important to make sure that your prices, your marketing, your conversation, your packages really value the level of results and transformations that you bring to the table. And the truth of the matter is, like, as it relates to me, I don't work with everyone because I can't work with everyone. I only work with people who are brilliant, sharp, and they have the ability to create results for others, proven. Okay. And they're at the top of their game, facts. All right. And as a result of that, they need to know how to take what they do, package it, price it, position it, and find buyers. And when I work with that demographic, I'm able to create amazing magic and help those individuals, because those are the people that I work with. Then you need to think about you and what you're doing. And are you charging and valuing what you do at the highest and tallest level? Or have you gotten bad advice? Or are you watching what everybody else is doing? And as a result of watching what everyone else is doing, you're not getting any yield because you're at the top of the game, like that Velar Range Rover, but you're charging $1,000 to sell it, and everybody's looking at you saying, what's wrong with it? Too good to be true. All right. And if you're doing that, it's likely because you don't have the accountability that you need in order for you to show up for yourself at the highest level. Number 5. The 5th reason why, if you are a giant and things are not the way you want it to be, it means, to me, you are not telling the truth. Okay, so let me tell you what I mean, okay? Telling the truth is super important to be magnetic, to be attractive. And I find with a lot of really talented, smart, sharp, spiritually based people, all my clients are believers. And sometimes we have had we've eaten so much humble pie. We've been told by so many people, don't toot your horn, don't say that, just don't say it like that, right? Like to mute yourself. And as a result of that, you're not telling the truth. There's a watered down version of who you are that's not really who you are, and you know it. And I think one of the things that's very, very important is to become comfortable in your skin of telling the truth. The reason I want to work with you, the reason I want to know you, the reason that I want to be on your waiting list, the reason that, I realize that you are the obvious choice for me is because of your ability and your skill to create results. It's because of all that amazing education you have and your proprietary processes to be able to create systematically over and over again results. There are tons of business coaches, and there are tons of business coaches all around the world. I have a methodology and I am very, very comfortable in my skin to say we consistently help clients sell what they do for high ticket. We consistently help clients to be able to close, package, price, position what they do over and over again. Even when my clients have never sold anything before, many of my clients have hit 6 figures, not 1, not 2, not 10, not 20. Tons of my clients. Many of my clients have made multiple millions of dollars as a result of what I have taught them. If I don't tell you that, you do not know that. All right. The reality is that not only have I been able to do those things for myself, but I have the ability to transfer what I know to my clients. And that's really important for you to know, because so what? If someone's a great coach and they themselves say they create great results for themselves, that has nothing to do with you. Do they have the ability to give you the exact same advice, and can you get the same results or better? Do they have the self-esteem to be able to manage your growth and your bigness, right? And I hope that you guys hear me and you hear my heart. You know, to tell the truth. Your talents and your skills, people will line up to work with you only if you tell the truth. And you've got to become comfortable looking in that mirror and saying what it is. And if you're not, then your ideal client's not going to be comfortable working with you either. Are we clear? All right. And if we're clear, you guys can write, I'm clear. So those are the 5 things I want to share. I've got an extra bonus. Number 6 is, oh my gosh. Number 6 is sometimes we're not giant because we believe that our company or our spouse got us. All right. This is going to step on some toes. Okay. Sometimes we don't achieve the giant status that we would desire because we are reliant on our company. It's true. Where you've worked for years or whatever it is, or you are reliant on a relationship, right, to to take care of you. And it's something that I take very personally. I worked at a Fortune 100 company. Was amazing what I did. I was given an option to move to Sioux Falls. I think it's South Dakota. I did not want to do that. So I was like, oh, okay. So here it is, my dream job. I'm a corporate trainer. And I literally end up getting a severance package because I don't want to go live in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Or is it North Dakota or South Dakota? And so I realized very early that company doesn't have you. Okay. I got to do what this company wants me to do. Okay. That's the only kind of security that I could claim is if I do what they want me to do, as long as they want me to do it, then there's some degree of security. The moment they want me to do something I do not want to do because it's not congruent with how I want to live or where my family is, then they don't have me. And I want you guys to understand this as it relates to those of you who have partners or spouses or whatever. And there's so many women who do not understand your power and the fact that if you just show up for yourself, you'll be there for your family in ways that are incredible. My husband developed kidney disease over 11 years ago. And as a result of that, went on dialysis. It changed the trajectory of my family. I was tremendously and am grateful that I had built a business that could stand in the gap. And I learned from that because I stood in the gap for myself and my dream. When my family needed me most, I could be there. My husband had always been there for us and continues to be so. He got a kidney transplant about 7 years ago and is doing amazing. But the reality is that if I had not stood up for myself, I wouldn't have been able to take a stand for him when he needed me most. And there's so many of us that don't think about security from that perspective. We believe that a man is a plan. We believe the job is a plan, and it's just not. All right. You have the ability with your skills and your gifts and your talents to create options, right? You have the ability to be that person that can stand in the gap for your family because you showed up for yourself and not use your family as an excuse. And that's for those of you who are using your family as an excuse or a shield. Maybe it's your kids and you're like, I'm building this business for my kids. And my question to you is, what did you do last week for the business? Because if you didn't do very much, then you probably have the wrong dream. When I got started in my business, I decided I was not building my business for my husband. I was not building my business for my kids. I was building the business for my own freedom, having personally witnessed what it means to be let go in what I would call my dream job. I realized, like, man, I want to build a business that would give me options, that I could create true security for myself. And I hope that as a result of sharing my story, that it inspires you in some way to do something different. Number 7. Oh, and that's it. Number 7 is sometimes we're not giant for ourselves because we're not fully expressed. And this is just something that I made up last year. I just started talking about it. And I just really feel like I live a life where I'm fully expressed. What does that mean? It means I get to do what I love, the way that I love it, when I love it, and how I love it. All right. And I live a life of my own terms, that I build a business around my life and every variable of how I do it, when I do it, who I work with, and what's included in it. I am a curator of my own happiness, my own work happiness. And I think so many of us are not fully expressed. We do work that there's 30% of who we are in it, and that other 70% is not aligned. It's not the highest and tallest skill set you have. You have skills and talents that you want to use. You do not get to use. I'm telling you the truth, because what you've done is take on a role or some responsibilities, but there's so much more that you could offer the world based on your knowledge and your talents and your gifts. And it's time to get real about that. I love it. When I wake up each and every day, I thank God. I literally thank God for my life. And I posted today, actually, my song for the year is I'm Blessed. Charlie Wilson's song is I'm Blessed, right? And I literally just thank God all the time. I get to do what I love to do. I get to play with smart, sharp, amazing people who are co-creators to make this world great. I love it. I get to work when I want to work. I get to show up in my life with my kids, my husband, in ways that are incredible because I built my work around my life. My life is, you know, my work does not control what I do. My life dictates how I do it. And I know that so many people could benefit from that and know that that's possible for you. It is. Even if you don't know, even if you haven't gotten started, even if you're not packaged in any way. That's what I wanted to share with you today. I wanted to do just a quick live. It came on my mind tonight, and I just wanted to share from my heart. Like, listen, you're giant in every way, and it's time. It's like nobody wants to hear about some wish that you have or some hope or some. You have every ability and skill. You have the evidence because look at all that you've already created. There's no reason that you can't this year hit six figures or multi-millions of dollars based on what you know how to do. You might need to work with someone like me who can help you figure out how to put it in the structure, how to package it, how to price it, how to position, how to sell it. But you already have the goods in terms of the skill and ability. But you've got to overcome the things that are keeping you from being a giant. And I covered them today just to quickly recap. And I'd love to hear your ahas or takeaways. Even if you're watching the replay, post them here. I covered today, number one, not allowing fear to keep you, away from your calling and your destiny. All right. You're going to, of course, be afraid when you get started doing something new. I've never done something great without not being afraid first. Okay. But face the fear, do it anyway, and you get to live with a whole new gift. Number two, hiding from your talents or waiting for someone to sanction you is really good, Cynthia. So make sure you watch the replay. It's very good. Waiting for someone else to dawn you. Say, now's your time. It is your time. All right. And I don't even want to hear it. Just tell me when you're ready to launch. Just tell me when and how I can support you. And that's the conversation we can have. This idea of you getting ready is not real. If I told you I'm getting ready to get on my Peloton downstairs, you already know I'm not getting on the Peloton. The best stories are I tell you when I got on the Peloton and what ride I did with Cody, right? Then you know I did it. But there's no commitment in I'm gonna, or I would, or I was. All right. And so getting rid of that in your language is super important. Number three, playing with the wrong crowd. You need to be congruent with people, your own ambition level and above. And if you are gigantic in your gifts and your talents, and you don't have people who are dreaming gigantically around you, likely you don't have anywhere to bounce those big, bodacious ideas off of. And when you take a great idea and you put it around minds that are not thinking as big, they punch holes in it, not to hurt you, because they just don't dream that way. They say, how can you do this? What makes you think this will work? What about the cost? What about this? When you hang with other giants dream big, right? We figure it out together. We have an elevated language around possibility. And I want that for you. Number four is not being congruent. A lot of times we don't achieve our purpose because the thing you're asking for, what you're willing to work for, who you're willing to work with, it's just not congruent with the level that you're on. So the reason you're not having success is because you're undervaluing, undercharging, and underestimating the gifts and the talents. You do not have to start from the bottom. Are you kidding? When you're already at the top, and sometimes you need a level of accountability to kick you, right? Like shake you, right? Hold you accountable so that you will show up 100% for yourself. And I wanted to do this live just so you understood that from my heart. Like, listen, all right, the world is waiting on you. Don't sell yourself short. Number six, and you need to not believe that the company's got you or the man's got you. You can have yourself. You can got yourself, right? You can have yourself. And when you do that, you really get to be of value to every single person in your world. And I see so many people who are afraid to launch their bigness because they are afraid of leaving something that isn't secure to begin with, right? Like that job in a hot second will let you go. It doesn't mean leave what you're doing, but maybe it means creating a transition plan for yourself. All right. And you can do that. All right. You can do it. And number seven, being fully expressed, I can tell you, is where it's at. Living a life and building a life that's unrecognizable on your own terms, working the way that you choose, deciding for yourself that, like, how do I want to live? Not living to work. You know what I mean? Not living to work, but building your work life around your life. It's super important. One of the things I think I told you guys last year, I did a live and I was like, last year my goal was to travel alone 45 days last year alone. I'm all about dating myself, and also spend 45 days dating my family. And I did exactly that. So I traveled with my family for 45 days last year. We did a little bit over that. And I traveled alone for 45 days, because I can work anywhere. And it was a dream that I had. And I was like, let me just do that. As I move into, like, now I've done 45 days alone. And now let me look at what is that next level for what that looks like. Maybe it's 90 days a year that I work outside of the US. I'm excited about it. Being in a place to be fully expressed, not from like, just talking about it, but being about it. And you guys get to witness it. And if you, just take that first step for yourself and know it's possible. I just want to see more women have what I have and so much more. And I can tell you, you can have so much more standing on my shoulders for sure. And that's why I come here. Are there any ahas, any takeaways? And if there are, I'd love to hear them, or you can post them here as a for the replays, and I'll see them and I'll like them. Also, I hope that as a result of what I shared with you today, that it really gets you to think differently about what you are setting on. We're early in the year. You've got plenty of time. No matter when you hear this, no matter what month that you hear this, you got plenty of time. Bet on yourself. Show up for yourself, right? Be amazing for yourself. Be gigantic for yourself. It's super fulfilling. All right. So Colleen writes, come on, coach. I love that. And which I love that picture of you, of course. And Cynthia says, yes, I need to be shaken and let go of fear. Let it go. And that's so important. It's just the next level. And let's see. Lister John writes, makes sense. I love that. I appreciate you for being here. You could have been anywhere, but you decided to be here tonight. And you decided to be here for a reason. So I'm excited. I'm Mia Redrick, business and life consultant. And I started my company 20 years ago. And today what I've done is coach thousands of women, and I've gotten them to be gigantic for themselves without any excuses or hesitations. I show my client how to stand in their value, package their knowledge, leverage their gifts, price what they're doing for the highest level, position themselves, learn how to market and how to sell what they do, leveraging their gifts, their talents, and their experience as a coach, consultant, or trainer. And if I can support you anyway, let me know. I will post here my website, which is miaredrick.com. There you can decide to watch my free webinar if you haven't seen it already, or attend one of my master classes there. So there's tons of information there for you. All right. I love you. All right. I appreciate you, and I'll talk to you soon. Have an amazing evening.